Hello, world. How y'all doing today? You know what time it is. It is time for the Virgo verdict. I'm on today, and every time you see me, I'm gonna be on here with my co-host Sherrod Cohen,
What to do?
and we have some verdicts to submit to you today.
Yep.
First, I want to talk about something. So a few weeks ago on my Facebook page, I had posed a question. And the question was, do men love bitches? And by bitches I mean women women who are mean or less amenable. Um
Less
I
cooperative.
well, not even that, but women who have a more brash personality type
Oh,
than other women, than softer women.
okay.
And I want to talk about this because when I posted it on my Facebook page, all of it was divided, like almost in the middle. Almost all of the women agreed with the fact that it seems like men appreciate harder, meaner, I guess less soft women, or treat them better than softer women.
Hmm.
And I've posed this because I am a softer woman.
Okay.
And I have found that in relationships with or in involvements with certain types of men or certain men, um, men treat me a certain way when I'm in my when I'm soft. But when I'm a bitch, I get whatever the fuck I want. Like it's crazy. It's almost like certain men take the softness for granted, or it doesn't excite them. I think there's something about a harder woman that is exciting to men. And I think it does something to men. And I think that whether they will admit it or not, are more, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Sharad, because I'm not a man. This is how it seems to me, that men are more attracted to harder or more aggressive women. And I don't even think I'm saying it right, but I know that there is a difference when men handle me a certain kind of way because I'm a soft woman. And then I have friends that are not as soft as me and they get handled differently. So that's what I want to talk about, Sharad. So do you know what I mean when I say what I'm saying?
I mean, there is an attractiveness to the aggressiveness of some women and how they do it. Now, you can be a more aggressive woman, a more, how can I put it? You can be more, I guess, see, like I said, some aggression in women is kind of like smooth. You know, like if a woman is sexually aggressive, that's smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like okay, you know she know what she want. But those women that tend to try to come off more, I guess, masculine, more harder edge, they do so in a more disrespectful manner. So for me, that's a put off. But I do know men that are attracted to that kind of women. I mean, woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll often want to know like, damn, how was your mother? I wonder if she's that hard woman, or was she the exact opposite? And you saw men walk over her, and I don't know. For me though, it's just I don't know. I like soft women, and but I don't want you being soft and docile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And see, I'm not docile. And this is the thing. Men, and I can only speak from my experience, Sherrod, and in no way is this a sweeping indictment against all men.
Right.
These are I'm just speaking on the men that I have had experiences with. Um, like I don't come with no problems, like for real. And these men will say, um, I want her to be my peace, right? I come with peace, right? And then they always, Sherrod, always, they don't believe it. They think it is a game or a tool for manipulation. They think I'm faking, right? Or if they don't think I'm faking, they look to exploit or take advantage of my softness. I have only had one, and I'm 52 years old, y'all. I've only had one relationship where who I am as a woman in a relationship has been appreciated in the way that I like.
Okay.
And we talking about I started dating when I was 19. So we talking about 30 years of dating. And I've always been a soft woman, although I've had to like figure out how to navigate my softness in relationships, and I've gotten better at it. Because everybody don't get the good shit anymore.
You know what?
um, but
I'm,
it has always been my experience that men will try to walk all over me. They have assumed that this softness equates to gullible, pushover, um, green. She liked me so much she'll take it. Shit like that. I have only one time in my life been in a situation where my softness has not been exploited, or they have not made an attempt to exploit that softness. And then I look at the other women that these men have encountered, have had relationships with, and they were hard women, and they, with the eye rolling, call a nigga out his name kind of woman. I've never been that, and I've never had a desire. And when I was 19, I fell in love. I had my first love, my first real encounter with love, and I fell hard, right? He was a street dude, and he had taken his show on the road. He was going traveling back and forth between here and Wisconsin, doing his thing. So he would be in Wisconsin for weeks at a time, and he would come home, every other weekend or something like that. But while he was there, he met and fell in love with another woman. And this woman was hard as fuck. Like, she wasn't masculine, but she was mean. She was a real bitch, right? And he loved it. He loved it. And I always wondered, and his friends would be like, because he went down there with people who I was also cool with, and his friends would be like, "Oh, girl's a real bitch," but he loved that shit. And you should see him like he was all in a way that he wasn't with me. And I don't understand it. Like, and I'm not trying to make a comparison between soft women and hard women. I just want to have a discussion about why that is. Like, why are softer women treated less respectfully, in my opinion, than harder kind of women?
that that's a good question because those kind of women, when I say they turn me off, now I can be physically attractive. When I was younger, I didn't give a damn what your personality was. I was gonna smash it anyway and just be on my way. You weren't gonna be around too long anyway, so I didn't give a damn about your personality. Didn't even really want to know your name. I just needed your number and the location. as I gotten older, what I find is those kind of women kind of they it's like they make me sick. You know, all this hard shit, and I just, you know, I'm gonna treat you like a homie. I'm gonna treat you like one of the niggas then, and I don't care how good you look. All that hard edge bullshit, it's a no for me. But I do know dudes that go for that shit, and every woman that they get, and I'm speak, and I know one dude in mind. No matter what woman he gets, she is a motherfucker. It's
Wow.
like he gets the same woman in a different package every time.
So
You know,
he has a type.
he got a type, right? And it's like just watching him with each and every one of them is like I can't see it. I mean, there's no woman on this planet that's that fine that I will let disrespect me. And I don't want to be challenged. If I say, hey, let's get up, let's move. Well, why we gotta do this? Well, stay your dumb ass here. Because, you know, some things you don't have time to explain, right? And some things you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have to explain. Just follow me. Just trust what I'm about to do. But if you gotta constantly, like this dude, he was like, well, I'm about to do such and such, such. Right. It's always orders being barked, right?
Mm.
But he fine with it. I can't do it. I won't do it. And if my son was to bring one of them chicks home, I'd be like, bruh, you can't come on my crib with that motherfucker. Nah.
And it's a trip, Sherrod, because on the Facebook post, all the men, and I mean all of them, that responded to the post said, I don't like that. I don't like no hard ass woman. But somebody lying.
Oh
Somebody is
no.
lying. And
Trust me. Them niggas out
all
there.
the women on the post, all of them, Sherrod, were like, yes, this is how niggas, this is what happens. Niggas can't appreciate soft women. Like, and and I have heard men say, I want her to be my piece. I like a soft woman. I like a feminine woman. And just because a woman is hard or harder than me doesn't mean she can't also be feminine.
I was getting
Because
ready to say
I,
there's probably a duality to these women where
yeah,
on the outside where everybody else sees this woman as this hard edged evil motherfucker, but when they get
mhm,
behind closed doors, she may be what he needs exactly to satisfy him. But in front of
yeah,
everybody else, because I'm a firm believer, everybody shouldn't get the same version of you.
no, everybody should not. Everybody should not. And in my case, everybody does not. Like I have learned to compartmentalize my softness,
Okay.
and my um because I'm a big flirt. So I have learned to not do that in certain circumstances. Like I treat the men with whom I'm or to whom I'm attracted differently than I treat men that I'm not attracted to.
Right.
But in every case though, I'm always good to people, always. No matter what the relationship is, and it's just like if I was a different person, I would be like, this shit don't pay off. Like it's not worth it. But for me, this is just who I am. It's not anything that I have the desire to cut off or stop doing. But in my experience, it's just like I be getting treated fucked up out here in the dating world, and I don't understand, and I be thinking to myself, if I was a bitch, it would be a different story because I've seen it. I've seen how men respond to women who are not as soft as me, and their response and interaction is totally different. And it's almost like those kinds of women get a certain degree of respect that I don't get. and I don't understand that. I don't
Do they really
understand it.
though?
I mean, that's what it seems like.
That's what
It
it
really
seems like.
does. They
Cause,
get a certain thing that I don't get though.
Cause I'm gonna
So,
be totally honest with you. The majority of women that I know that's so-called hard edge and all this other, they've been ran up and ran through, so they should be hard by now. They was easy all their goddamn life, so they should be about times like saying no and being mean because they didn't crack their ass open for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And these are the ones I know personally. And
mm,
just having conversations with certain women, you hear about their progression from being this nice woman, all to I'm a treat niggas like niggas treat
mhm.
treat women, and I'm like, well, that's you. You know, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna allow a motherfucker to break me and make me change from who I am.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because the thing about me though, Shirai, is I'm anchored in this. This is who the fuck I am. Like,
Right,
I cannot be anything different, and nor do I have the desire to be. I don't want to change. I love my softness.
right.
I do. I relish in the opportunity to be this all the time. And I would like it if it were met with, I don't know, more respect, I guess, or,
But at what point do you recognize that what you're doing is not being reciprocated? Because for me, that's a demarcation point.
um, it's we it's weird because, I done did something. Um, you know, in the beginning of the relationships, of all of my relationships, they begin really, really great. Um, the men show up as their best representative. And then they say all the good shit. They say and do all of the right shit. But my good friend, sister friend, Scheherazade Washington Parrish always says, how you show up anywhere is how you will show up everywhere eventually. So this facade that they introduced me to in the beginning begins to wane, and the real them starts to show up. And this probably happens months after our first, encounter or whatever.
Right.
Like they can't keep it up anymore.
No, they can't.
So, but
They,
I'm always the same though. I'm always this. I'm always kind. I'm always until I'm not. So um my the opposite of me, the opposite of my kindness only shows up on the defense. If I have to show you the other part of me, I will. But that's not who I show in the beginning because I'm generally the soft chick. Um so there comes a time when they discover that I'm this always, then a turn of events happens and I don't know what the trigger for that is. Then they become less of a lot less of who they were in the beginning because something clicks in them that says, "Oh, I can treat her a certain kind of way or she's cool with something because I'm forgiving and diplomatic and you know I like to talk shit out. Like I'm not with the rah-rah unless you are.
right.
So if you do something to me or something that I dislike, I'm going to tell you I dislike this and this is why. But I'm not going to be like, "Nigga, I ain't like that motherfucking bullshit you did with your hoe ass." I'm not that girl unless I have to be. Generally, look, I didn't like that. And I would appreciate it in the future if you don't handle me like that. And then for me, it's over. Like, I don't live in the past. If we had an argument at 3, at 6 o'clock, I'm not bringing it back up. I'm done with it. Our argument at 3 was over at 3. And I don't be, getting all in dudes' faces and cussing them out. I don't do none of that. So I think the very first time that they figure out, oh, she ain't gonna hit me in my jaw, or she ain't gonna call me out my name, they interpret that as um pushover, or
Weak, soft.
you weak,
Yeah.
whatever they think, it is.
Hmm.
And then they'll do shit. And also, Sherrod, I'm a true Virgo. You will have a couple opportunities to do some fuck shit, because I'm gonna always tell you what I dislike or don't like, but I'm always do it in a certain kind of way. Now, if you then continue to do something, and I have moved on from my softness, then you get to meet the other me, right? Which, you know, I don't really like to do that, unless I have to, but it's when I do that, when I nut up, Sherrod, is when they like it. Then they change. Then they you know, they're whatever person or man I need them to be. As soon as I nut up, as soon as I show my Detroit ass, Virgo ass, ignorant ass, my daddy side of the family part of me, shit gets different. They bow down
Hey,
again.
hey, maybe these dudes are trying to date their mama because she was an evil motherfucker. Because I mean, I used to work with a guy who got jumped on by his woman all the time. You
That's
know, and
wild as fuck to me.
and he stayed with her. And I was being real candid with him on the way to work one day. I'm like, bruh, just leave, man. Oh man, and then from that conversation, I left it alone. I said not another word, even when he had scratches. Now he was a high yellow cat. He had scratch. One day he came out. He had scratch from here all the way down, and it was this. And I was like, and then the last time I ever seen him again, because we used to work together. He wasn't like a homie, but somebody I was riding. I would pick him up. The last time I seen him, because he quit after this, man, when I say he had scratches all over, and she was a little itty bitty thing, and he said, I ain't going to work. I said, all right.
Sherrod, he
And
like
he
that shit.
and you
He
know what?
like
And
it.
and and, and in my head, I was like, damn, is it that your mom used to beat your ass or something like that? You saw her treat other men like that, and you thought that was cool. Was your daddy one of those dudes that just got dogged out? Because I didn't grow up around men like that. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up around. I grew up around some players, some straight dogs. Hey, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just just to have a woman sit here and now, what I can't have is a woman that if I'm speaking to you,
Mm-hmm.
you go into a shell on me. Be able to stand up for yourself. Don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't need nobody docile, indecisive. You, I don't. I'm not here to try to tell a grown person how to live. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be attracted to a woman that knows what she wants, how to go get
Mm-hmm.
it, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
But this has to be a level of respect that we both have for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And just like if you and I got into an argument, I'm not calling you bitches, hoes. I'm not calling you out your name or none of that stuff. We arguing about what the fucking topic is. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And I
Right.
expect you to do the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not cursing at you, don't cuss at me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I shut down on you, we ain't talking no more. You can and basically take it how you want to. Yeah, you can find a new dude from that point on. But if I shut down, I'm done. So I don't understand how men take disrespectful women. I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either. And I don't believe that in relationships we should talk to each other poorly. Like we
No.
can have a discussion about what's going on without being verbally abusive to each other, without being abusive to each other, period.
Yeah.
Because we in a relationship, it's me and you. So if you got an issue with me, or if I have an issue with you, and we're grown people, we should be able to discuss this
Yep.
like how me and you are talking right now. So in my last relationship, so my my last relationship, my dude was a trip. He was hard, he was mean, but he wasn't like that with me. But he was a trip. He was not to be fucked with. And in his previous relationships before me, they were violent and volatile. But I also think it is like for certain men, or for certain people who might be emotionally on the edge, you can't be in a relationship with them and talk to them crazy. Because if they are emotionally on the edge, they're going to fuck you up, either verbally or physically, right?
Right.
So, in his past relationships, all of his girlfriends were with the shits. It wasn't no, we having an intelligent exchange between the two of us. It was, fuck you, bitch, in response to some shit. And then they might get to fighting or some shit, right? But here I come. Not only am I soft, but I am an intelligent person and I am a communicator.
Okay.
And we gonna talk about it in detail for as long as it takes to talk about it until we resolve it.
Right.
Also, from the beginning, I let people know how you can handle me and how you cannot. I'm not going to be any different because I like being soft,
Hmm.
but I am also firm. I also have boundaries, and there's certain shit that I am not going to tolerate. And niggas know this about me. But
Can I can
still,
I can I interject something right there, real quick? Because I was listening
yes,
to what's her name, Ayanla Van Zant,
Iyanla. Hmm.
and she was talking about how a lot of women are mean, right? Very mean,
Hmm.
disrespectful, and she says she's not aggressive, she's assertive.
Exactly. Yes.
And there's a big difference between the
There
two.
is a big difference. Yes.
And I wonder, are some of these women, in fact, getting those kind of women mixed up with mean women? Somebody that's firm, that's assertive, like just because you're soft, you're affectionate, you love intimacy and all
Mhm.
that, you can also have your boundaries. Because when you have your
Absolutely.
boundaries, when you're set to say, you know what, I don't take this, and if you cross the line, I'm done.
Hmm.
That's assertive. That's being firm. That's standing 10 toes on your shit. Mean is
Hmm.
just you punk nigga, you this bitch, and
You're right.
So,
Yes.
so I'm wondering, are some of these women being confused? The mean women, the assertive women, are being confused as mean women.
It depends on if you fucking fragile, emotionally fragile or not. Because whether you are, because some people will interpret being assertive as being mean because they
Right.
fragile.
Right. Hypersensitive
So
asses.
you're right. I don't know. It's possible, Sharad. It's I'm assertive, but still in a soft kind of way, like because I'm not about to step outside of who I am just to prove something to someone else, like to prove you can't walk all over me, or to prove you can't treat me a certain kind of way. My proving that you can't treat me a certain kind of way is me leaving. me stop. I'm not
Right.
gonna fuck with you because I like me and I like how I am. And there are people out there who also like how I am. And those are the people that I want to be surrounded by. Cause there's a game that's played with women like me. And I don't like that shit. And it's like, damn, like it's like they look at your softness and your amenability, I don't even know if that's a word, as a, I don't know. They look at it as something weak. They do. Certain men tend to look at it like that. And then they equate that with you being dumb or something like you'll go for whatever. At least that has been my experience.
Okay,
And then I have
amenability is a
to,
word. So you good.
oh, is it? Okay. um so yeah, it's and then they play this game with you. So it's like, okay, I'm over here, I'm being soft and being this nigga's piece, and then he do some dumb shit and I say something about it, and then I get gaslighted. You overthinking, you sabotaging, you because now I'm not being soft anymore. So they like, oh no, I want you to keep me as soft because I want to keep treating you the way that I treat you. But then if you say something, those feelings aren't real. You don't really mean that. You know, it's a game that certain niggas play, and I don't like that shit, Sherrod. And it makes
Now
me fighting mad.
when you draw your line in the sand and somebody's crossed that line and you say it's over with, do they? Oh no, try to get you back, or do they go there?
Yes,
Okay,
always.
okay.
Always. Always. And then they try to get me back, and on those occasions where I've said okay, they do it again.
Okay.
And it's like, what the fuck, nigga? Either you appreciate me and like me or you don't. Like for real. If not, leave me the fuck alone. But Sherrod, all the niggas, they all come back. They all still call me. They all still text me. They all be like, hey, what up, big head? Always. All of my exes, the ones that's not dead, have always called me again. Always. Because
Okay.
then they go out, they leave me, or I leave them, and then, they get with these other women who, I don't know who the fuck
And
these
see
women
that the
are.
grass ain't greener.
Yeah, and then they come back. Cause I'm their soft place to land every time. I am what makes them feel good. I am what boosts their ego. I am the one that is, she can cook, she gonna make me a plate, she gonna give me kisses, she's gonna be super duper soft. I'm gonna
And
come over and just
you know what I've noticed in this day and time, that a lot of women are like, kissing is a no. It's almost like you got to treat them like a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't kiss hoes. You just bend them over and send, bend them and send them. You know what I'm saying? And
mm-hmm.
a lot of women, I've heard, I don't want kisses. I don't want all that affection and shit. Just come on in. And I'm like,
That's
and
crazy
see
talk.
now that might be one of the reasons why some of these guys like these women. Hey, they hard. They don't give a fuck. Hey, I'm just gonna fuck, boom. You know,
Hmm.
it it's probably one of them things where a dude can just say, fuck it. If we last, we last. We don't. I'm not really losing anything. Because she's not affection. Like, you got to realize, if if she's showing me some affection and takes it away, I got something to lose. But if she hard and we just do what we do, we argue, woo, 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 and we break up, what am I losing? Okay, but then you have some of those deranged lunatics that like that toxic shit.
They love that
So I don't.
toxicity.
Yeah, so I don't think that's this question is something that can just be this group. It's got to be based
Hmm.
on individuals.
Individuals, yeah.
It's an
Yeah,
individual
but
thing.
it is an individual thing, and the one of the main reasons I posed the question um was because I have been affected by it my whole entire dating life.
Okay.
And this is how it has always seemed to me. Like if I was a real bitch, then my dating life would be different. That's how I've always interpreted it. But anyway, so my verdict is certain men love certain kinds of women.
Yep.
Um, it has been my experience that certain men don't 100% appreciate peace and softness as much as they say they want and desire it. Really, some of their actions say they want the opposite. And I think those people would have to be toxic individuals.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, my verdict is that there are men out here who like bitches. And it's not an indictment about all men. It's
Right.
about who that man is and what that man likes. And unfortunately, I have had the experience of being involved romantically with some of those men. So I think for women like me, soft women like me, we have to only and exclusively date men who like that shit a lot. And pay attention to the red flags because they all show up the same. So soft women like me have to pay attention to those red flags. And at the onset of the first red flag, you got to walk away. Because, Sherrod, if you have seen one red flag, you have seen all the red flags. Like, if you've seen one red flag, there's a bunch of other red flags behind it. So no longer am I ignoring the first red flag. I can't do it anymore. I'm not fucking with a nigga after the first red flag. So, what's your verdict, Sherrod?
Hey man, I think the guys that really like the chicks that's out of control and out the gates, I think they're really trying to find somebody like their mama, to be totally honest with you. I think they grew up in a household dominated by women, and that's what they like. That's what they've grown accustomed to. They've seen their mom around guys and dog them out. Because I know a female dominated family, and all the men that come through put up with a lot of bullshit and this and that and the other. And and the funny thing is knowing them personally and not being romantically involved with them, it's like I couldn't fuck with y'all, because we ain't arguing, we ain't fighting. Because as soon as you hit me with something, I'm gonna treat you like a nigga. I'm gonna give you that
Right.
equality, y'all want. You know what I'm saying? So I
Okay.
think a lot of those guys that like those women saw their moms, their aunts, their grannies, and all the chicks that was really close to them handle men that way, and they think that's the way to go. And they never had a man around them. It's like, nah, 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 bruh. That's not how you do this. Because
Hmm.
you're showing them that you don't even respect yourself. So how is she supposed to respect you? But
Hmm.
then at some point his emotions take over. Now he's arguing back and forth. No, we ain't doing all of that. Then you got guys like me. We ain't arguing. We ain't arguing. We can either discuss the
Right.
shit or we gonna leave it alone.
Right.
But once we leave it alone, don't bring that shit back up.
Don't bring it back up. It's
Don't bring it
because
back up.
now it's in the past.
It's the past.
It's
So,
yeah.
and I just think for soft women, you have to have you got to really pay attention to those that's faking the funk, talk about they want peace, because then you may need to lead with how were your last 4 or 5 relationships, and if
Hmm.
toxicity is the thing that all of them have in common, you'd be like, no.
Right. Okay, so my softies out there, y'all, softies unite. We got to take care of ourselves. And no matter how much you like them physically, if if they're not um if they're not appreciative of who you are as a soft woman, then let their asses go. Fuck that nigga.
Yeah, don't change
Shit.
for him. Don't become a hard
Right.
woman
Don't change for
because
him.
this
Keep
dude
being
over here
you.
don't appreciate it. Don't
Yeah,
change.
cause man, so and I'll end with this, but I was dating this guy, right? And and it was y'all. I wasn't in love, but it was purely a physical, lust-filled attraction.
Okay.
Really, he was my physical type, phenotype, color, everything. I love big black ass men. Not fat, y'all. Big though. Cause I'm very touchy feely. I like to climb and all that shit. But anyway, so I was dating this guy, and I was very extremely attracted to him physically. We were attracted to each other physically. But when we first started dating, I thought that he was gonna be my next relationship. And when I discovered that he wasn't, I should have stopped fucking with him, but I didn't. And he did not treat me or handle me the way that I prefer to be treated. So ended up not fucking with him. I met another guy recently. This is recent. And all the things that I wanted from the guy that I stopped messing with, the new guy does and appreciates. It's a trip. So when they say another man's trash is another man's treasure, or what one man won't do, and this goes for women too. What one man won't do, another man will. It's true. It's true. Like the new guy, he he does all the things and he says all the things that a woman like me, a softie, really appreciates. So, whatever it is that you desire is out there. It really, really is. But you don't have to compromise yourself to have it.
You know what?
So y'all weigh in on the subject. And
One
I
more
want
thing.
some of you.
One
Mhm,
more thing. And also, once we understand those signs, see those flags, the whole nine,
mhm.
men or women, we got to stop trying to change people.
Yes,
We have to. And another thing is a person that's meant to be your past should not be allowed to affect your future.
absolutely.
So you a softie, you nice, you're loving, you're affectionate, you're all this good shit. Okay, what this man taught you is to see niggas like him coming from a mile away. So the
Absolutely. And I
next
did learn
man
that.
shouldn't have to pay for his sins.
For real, y'all. For real. Like, leave your relationships in the past. And I really feel like when you start a new relationship, start that relationship. Don't bring, like, yes, what you have learned from your past relationships, bring that because, those are the
His
lessons
wisdom.
that will strengthen your new relationships. But yeah, don't don't compromise who you are just because you feel like somebody's not appreciating.
Right.
So anyway, y'all weigh in. Tell us what you think. Put it in the comments. If you have an opposite verdict from the Virgo verdict, please let us know what it is. Please subscribe, share, and tell all your friends. And if one day you would like to try your hand at being a podcast guest, also let us know. Put it in the comments. We got an email address that you can email us. And if you have future topics of which you would like to discuss, please also hit us up. So until next time, peace.
Oh, did you do the like, share, subscribe joint?
Like, share, subscribe. I
Yeah,
did,
there we
Sherrod. You weren't listening.
go.
All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.